Hello friends, welcome back to IICS Infotech channel. Today we're gonna discuss about sequence generator and about the shared sequence in IICS. And the session is day 13. So what is sequence generator? Basically, we use this sequence generator to generate sequential values, or we can use it as a primary key based on the scenarios. So majorly we use this in different scenarios, and the most important thing is we will use this definitely in the SED types. So we need when you are to maintain the historical data in the dimension tables. So we use this sequence and generator to create a surrogate keys, which is nothing but a unique distinct values to generate distinct values. Okay. So we in the sequence generator we have a start value, increment by, end value, cycle, and current value. So start value is 1 and increment by 1, and the end value will, this will entirely depend on the scenario where in which mapping we are designing this, and the cycle and current value. So let us discuss about this. Uh, so practical session, if you should go here, create a new mapping here, mapping. Sorry, let's tap on this. So go to new, create mapping. So if you see here, we'll have the sequence generator transformation here. So this is the one. Just click on this. So go to here sequence, you will get the sequence properties. So increment is 1, end value, this is the default value in IICS. And based on the scenario, we can customize this value. Initial value will be 1. So which is nothing but current value. And the cycle, when we use cycle means if you want to assign the sequence value from 1 to 10 for that 1000 records, okay, in that way, so you can just enable this cycle option. It will cycle once the end value reaches, again it will start from 1, okay. And the cycle start value from 1 you need to start, then you can give the value 1 here. And number of catched values, this we will discuss later. And reset is nothing but, suppose if you want to reset the sequence values. So today you have received the source file, and in that you got 105 records, and the sequence is after 105. In the next session, it should load from first from the sequence value 1. In the next whenever the next job runs, right? So the next day it should start from 1. Though in that scenario, what we have to do, you can just enable this reset so that it will reset the values, and again it will start from the 1. And you'll get a doubt here. What is the difference between then cycle and reset? So cycle is nothing but, so let me draw it here so that you will understand. So this is the sequence generator. Okay, we'll be having next value and current value, right? And we have a target here, and we do have sequences like 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on to 100. Okay, so here next value, and this is current value. Yes. Sequence generator. So the next value, so current, it will have 1, okay, and then it will increment by +1. So current value, and basically the next value will be 0. So you need to remember this. In interview they will ask you like which value will hold the highest value, whether it is a next value or current value. So you need to say always the current value will have the higher value than the next value. So current it is 1, right? So it will increment by 1. So next value it is go to 1. So it will generate a one sequence in the target table. And the next, what is the next value will come here, right? This value will be hold into the current value. So current value will become 2. Okay. Next it will become 2 and then it will increment by 1. Sorry, 1, right? 1 it will hold. The current value will hold 1 and 1 plus 1 it will go to the 2. So next current value will hold it as a 3. Sorry, 2. 2 it will hold and 2 plus 1 is 3, right? So it will generate the D sequence value. In this way, the sequence generator will work. Okay. Okay, this is how the sequence generator will work. Mm, yeah. So here the cycle. Uh, First we'll discuss about cycle. So cycle in the sense what it will do. So I want suppose I have a here in between I have one mapping. Okay, and these will have a different sequence values like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So what I have to do, I need to load particular records to the target table. Okay. Let's say we'll use the sequence generator. Okay. From source we are getting these record. From source we are getting these key values. Let's consider key values. Okay. So from source we are getting it, and in the target, so we need to load it as a different. So I need to load it as 4. 4 records should go into one record, and another 4 into another record, another 4 into the third record. Okay. So in that way, so if you in the sequence generator, if you see here, cycle, if you enable this cycle, if you click on the cursor here, it will show. So the value cycle through the range specified by start and end value. If disabled, task would fail with overflow errors in the sequence, reaches the end value specified and still has the close to process. It will be cycle. So one, 2, 3, 4. Till 4, I have enabled the cycle value. We go here and I'll enable the cycle. Cycle start value is 1. Okay. And the end value is 4. So till here I have given. This once that reaches the end value as 4, again it will start from 1. Okay. It's not resetting. I'm just enabling the cycle value. So it will, after reaching the 4, again it will start from 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Again it will repeat 1, 2, 3, 4. So again it will repeat 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So all 4 values has been loaded, and reset. What it will do? If you enable reset here, suppose here have 10 is there, right? Let's say here I want to load T3 records into each table. 3. Okay. Uh, 3, right? 1, 2, 3, and again 1, 1, 2, 3. So in the sense, how many will get? 3, 6, 9, right? So still we have one record to load here. Okay. Still one more record we have. So in this case, what we can do? So still one more record we need to load. But here we have the sequence value 1, 2, 3. So 4 is not, so it will generate 1 right here. In the next session, in the next day, the same job will run. But if we haven't enabled the reset here, what it will do? Since we have enabled cycle and reset we haven't enabled. Let's assume reset we haven't enabled. So in that case, what it will do, right? In the previous day, here we have the value 1. Okay. But in the next day, it will start from 2, 3. And again 2, 3. Here we'll get 1. Okay. And here what it will do? 2, 3, 1. So this is wrong, right? This is the wrong sequence which we are assigning. So for that purpose, what we will do? So till 3 we have given the sequence and 1. So for the 10th record, the sequence is 1, right? So if you enable this reset option, what it will do? It will again it will start from 1, 2, 3. So in this way, we'll get the correct sequences. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So in the next day also, the sequence will be generated sequentially. So the numbers will generate properly. So this is the major difference between cycle and reset. Okay. In interval, they might ask this question as well. So now what we'll do, I'll just discard this and so we have discussed about all these properties, right? And shared sequence. So why we will use this shared sequence means in future that IICS allows multiple mappings or sessions to use the same sequence generator. Let's say we have applications. Okay, we have application sales, and in future we want to we are decommissioning this sales application. Okay, so before this we have used a sequence generator here to load the sequence value into the target table. Okay, so we have used a sequence here, and we are running this job every day, and the business they decided to retire this application. Okay, retire or decommission. So what we need to do, we need to transfer the all the components which are there in the sales applications. We need to migrate all the applications to the new application, which what will say new sales application. So we need to migrate this entire whatever all the jobs we have under this sales application. We need to migrate, right? So again, what we have to do here, we have a sequence generator here, but we have a sequence generator. So it has already generated the sequence values here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's say some 1000. Okay, it has generated 1000 sequences, and we need to till 6 months we will be having the time, right? After once we develop a new application and we if we don't see any production issues, right, then we'll be having a hyper support for 3 months. After that hyper support, we will be decommissioning the old application. So this application will be decommissioned. But till that time, we need to run the both jobs, and we'll be running the both jobs, and we'll be loading the records into the same table. Okay, and we'll be loading the same record, same data in both the tables. So in that case, here we are already using the same sequence. We are here we are using the sequence values, and when you try to use the same sequence value here also, what we'll get? We'll get unique constraint errors, right? So to overcome that, so we have a shared sequence. So here it will generate the sequence values, and this, since we are sharing the sequence values, here also we'll get the sequence values. So here we have 1000, right? It will start from 1001. So 1001, 1002, 1003, and so on to 2000. So this is the advantage of sequence server. Anyway, we are creating the unique values. So there will be no duplicates here. If you check this, go to mapping, you create a mapping here. No, here we cannot create because it will be there in the components. So shared sequence we have, right? So create this. While creating, we'll get all kind of sequence properties only. So initial value is 1, end value is this is the one. Initial value will give 1, and it will increment by value 1. And if you want to enable cycle, you can enable, and the cycle start value. Here number of reserved values. We have this number of reserved values. What this will do? Here we have 1000, right? If you try to give some other values, so what it will do? You will get an error. You must reserve at least 1000 values. So why? Because of in shared sequence for this job, if you enable the shared sequence, okay, instead of sequence generator, if you give shared sequence, by default it will allow the 1000 values. Okay, 1000 values will be allocated to that particular job. Once the end value reaches, right, so here 1000 it is allocated. So for this, what it will do? It will create from 2000, 2001, and then to 3000. Okay. So for this job, the values will be 2000 to till 3000, 3000 or 2900 and 2999, 2999. This is the end value for this job. Again, what it will do? So here it will take again from 3001 to 3999. So here it will be like 4000. Starting value will be 4000. So this is how the sequence values will be shared across the mappings or sessions. So this is what we discussed here. The multiple mappings or sessions to use the same sequence generator. So this is where we will be using the shared sequence. This ensures that the sequence value is consistent across different parts of your integration. and eliminates the possibilities of generating duplicate values across different methods. Okay, so we have here global value sharing, persistent uniqueness. Okay, you can go this document, and how to use shared sequences. We have just seen it. And if you want to implement how you can implement shared sequence in IICS, step by step I have given here. You can just go through this and you can design the mapping. So let's go with now the sequence generator example. So I'll discard this. Uh, some underscore sequence trend. So source will be, let me take any one example here. Uh, for this we have ID here. So we have this government, right? So for this, we'll try to create a sequence values. So source will be, okay, I've selected government. These are the fields, right? So I'll take target. So in target, I have a T underscore government table. So what I'll do, I'll just generate a sequence to this data set. So it is in set operation and okay. So what I'll do, take sequence generator. Yeah. If you observe here in Informatica Power Center, you will not see any input ports to the sequence generator. But here you can see the input and output ports. So this is the major interview question. This is the major difference between Power Center and IICS. Okay. If you click on this incoming fields, we have a incoming fields option as well. And go to sequence. If you want to use this as a shared sequence, we can just enable this option, use a shared sequence, and we can give the number of catch values. So in the shared sequence transformation, we have result values, right? So if we enable this, it will convert as the result values in the cache. It will reserve the values, and we need to give the maximum how many values we need to reserve in the cache. So that we can give it here. Okay. So and then advanced. Here you can see disable incoming fields. Disable incoming fields to connect only the generated sequence to a downstream transformation. You must connect at least one field from another transformation to the downstream transformation. So if you disable this incoming fields, it will act as a sequence generator. So I'm not taking any inputs from the sequence to the sequence generator. So now this will be like same as in Informatica Power Center. How we will use the sequence generator, right? So this will act as same. But the major difference is the sequence generator will have the incoming ports in IICS. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll connect here. Sorry. So I'll be generated sequence values to the target, right? So go to sequence. So initial value is 1, increment by 1. I am not enabling any cycle or reset. Let's see how it will work first. Go to target. These are the target fields and These are all the incoming fields. So here we have next value and current value. We need to pass next value to the downstream transformation, right? So do the smart map. And we have next and current value. We need to map, right? We have to generate the sequence values. So what I'll do, I'll just create one extra column here. So I have added now, if we run this, so we got one keyboard, right? So what I'll do, I'll just refresh this. Here, we go here, target this. We'll have a sync option. So I'll just sync on it. So now we got keyboard column. So what I'll do, I'll pass next value to the keyboard. So arrange it and save. So it is showing invalid. Let me validate. Sequence number of catch values should be specified. Okay, I think I removed it. So go to sequence generator, go to advanced here, sequence number of catch with 100. Save it. So now the mapping is valid. Let me run the mapping now. So 7 record it has been processed. Now you can see we got the sequence values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So now what we'll do, so we'll just play with the sequence generator. So here sequence. I'll just enable the cycle value. Okay. Cycle start value is 1 and end value is 3. Now let's see what we'll do. And one more thing, here I'm running the mapping directly, okay? But we don't see any, you see here, do you see anywhere the initial, the current value sequence here? So we don't see. Why? Because of this job is not holding the sequence end value. Why? Because we are not running this mapping in a mapping class. So to run this job, we should create a mapping class. Okay. So to hold the end value, we need to create a mapping class. Sequence trans. So sequence trans. Next. So if you see here, the sequence initial value is 1, current value in 1. You don't see next value. So in this way, the current value will have the maximum value. Always the current value holds the maximum value. Next, save it. Here what we have given, okay, let it be. I'll try to run again. So it succeeded, right? Now if you see here the sequence generator, sequence next value is 2. Okay, let, let me check here. So we enabled cycle, right? 1, 2, 3. Till 3 we have. After 3, it should start again 1, 2, 3, and it ended with 1. So as we discussed, this is how cycle works. Okay, it ended with 1, right? So what if I run this job again now? Let me check. Next value is 2 because it ended with 1, right? Next value is it is showing 2. But when the job run again, it should start with 1, right? You cannot start the sequence value with in between the middle one. Let us restart and see. So 7 has loaded. Next value is 3. You check here. It started with 2. Instead of 1, it started with 2. So again it ended with 2. So next value is 3. If you see here, next is 3. If I restart, so if I restart, now if you see the sequence, next value is 1. But here, so it started with 3 and ended with 3. So if you run the same job in a particular day, so here now I have run 3 times continuously, right? But let's assume this job will run daily wise. Okay. So in if we generate the sequence values in this way, this is wrong, right? We cannot submit this kind of we cannot insert this kind of records, right? So, so to overcome that, what I have done, I have just enabled the reset option. Okay. What will happen if I reset? If I enable the reset option, what will happen? So run this. But I haven't changed the cycle value. Okay. So what now? The success rows are 7, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and ended with 1. Here we don't see the next value. Why? Because we have enabled, oh no, sorry. Yeah, we have enabled the reset option, right? So that's why what it will always start with 1. So if I restart now, here ended with 1. But if you don't enable the reset, so it will start with 2. But I have enabled the reset option with cycle. So what we'll do, so now if you see 7 got loaded, right? It will not show any next value because we enabled reset. So it ended with 1 now. Let's see. So again it started with 1 only. So this is the major difference between this cycle and where is that mapping? Yeah. This is the major difference between the cycle and reset option. I hope it is clear, right? So in this way, if you can do many operations on this. If you want to filter only the fourth record, so in that way, what you can do, you can just let's say you have generated, you have assigned sequence values from 1 to 10, which is coming. Let's say we have 50 records from source, and you have separated in 10 formats. Okay, from sequence 1 to 10. You will get how many 5 batches you will get, right? And from each batch you need to load only the fourth record. So how you can filter it? So you would say like next value equal to 4, right? Here next value equal to 4. Then in the filter transformation, if we enable this next value equal to 4, wherever the sequence value equal to 4 is there, only that record will be passed to the next downstream transformation. So in that way you can use this sequence generator. Okay, save it. Yeah, so this is all about sequence generator, and you can try with shared sequence. Just take two mappings. Okay, use the same sequence, use the sequence generator and enable the shared sequence. Enable that shared sequence and reserve the values like from 1 to 10, but it should be minimum 1000 record. So try with more than 1000 records, and let me know in the comment section if you have any doubts on this shared sequence. Okay, so this is a simple concept, but what you need to do, you should have a clear idea on these properties and what is the difference between cycle and reset. So if you explain this clearly, then you will not face any issues. So this is all about today's session, guys. I hope you guys understood clearly. So please do like, share these videos to your friends. Okay. If you have any doubts, let me know in the comment section. We'll catch up in the next session. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.